things. Like we'll be covering few which require some details as basic understanding of Metasploit and PowerShell. So these are the last two topics which needs to be covered. So let's start the session. I'm sharing my screen. Well, let me know once you are able to see it. Okay, so I guess everyone is able to see.
Yeah, Rishabh, we can.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So today's agenda is the Metasploit, then PowerShell Empire basic understanding, gaining the real insight that what we have covered, how to like club all those steps and how to get into a real penetration testing. Then instruction related to trying the labs, like how to perform the testing in OSCP lab environment or any other environment where you have dummy labs which will give you the real understanding of penetration testing. That will be covered. Then out of the box thinking, which is kind of hardly 5 to 10 minutes of topic, which is theoretical, and the whole summary that we have covered in an entire 2 months. So we'll be covering that, and all the best in the end. So we'll start with Metasploit framework first. So Metasploit framework is a project. Earlier it was free, then it was taken away by a Rapid7 company, which is like providing a new payloads. So it's a kind of framework which is basically used for providing more and more support to perform penetration testing. They also develop the different kind of IDS signatures, bypassing them. So they since then Rapid7 has taken over it. It has lots of development. It has its own GUI. So it is kind of updating on regular basis. So it is very useful for penetration in the real life because it provides you predefined exploits, then auxiliary modules and other stuff. So using combination of those things, you will be able to perform your penetration testing more easily in a faster way, or you just have to provide less information to perform any penetration activity once you identify information related to your target. Like what is the technology? Is there any payload available? Is there a payload available with respect to Metasploit as well? So that you will be easily able to perform the exploit, and then you will be able to do that your penetration testing in easy manner. And also it keeps on updating every time. So you will get latest payload which you can use in your organization or business or any other activity to exploit newer ways of getting into the systems. So Metasploit is that kind of framework. So it's a basic understanding about the Metasploit that we will be going to cover over here. So these are the things like what are the exploit in the Metasploit, then what are the payloads that we use, like how to choose them, what are the auxiliary module. So auxiliary module are those which we use for other scanning purposes, or like, so take an example. So there is a website where we are checking that whether we are able to upload anything through other methods. So what we'll do is using post method, head method, we can kind of use the payloads auxiliary module basis of which we are not exploiting the site, but we are checking whether these kind of functionalities are enabled on the website, or using auxiliary module we can further analyze that these are the information that can be exploited using Metasploit further. Then post, no operations, and coder and evasion. So these are the things which are already there in the Metasploit, and so practical demonstrations of these things will be covered by Chetan. So Chetan, over to you now for these things.
Okay, thanks, Rishabh. Let me just share my screen.
Okay.
You have to stop present. Share screen. Let me know once you can see my screen. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, yes. For me, it is visible. I guess for rest.
Uh,
Yes, it
Royce,
is.
Achintya. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is like what we have planned for this today's session, like covering the Metasploit framework, and then we'll see the PowerShell Empire. Okay, and the rest of the part will be covered by the Rishabh. Okay, so as what Rishabh said, just continuing the same part. What exactly is Metasploit? Metasploit was basically, initially it was created by a person named HT Moore. He's a security researcher. Okay, so initially when he developed this application, he coded this entire framework into like using a Perl language. Okay, like in 2003. Then later on, in around 2005, he rewritten the whole program, whole framework on Ruby. Okay, and later in around 2007 or something, Rapid 7 acquired the Metasploit project. And the only condition, what exactly, like while the Rapid 7 was acquiring Metasploit, what SD Moore said to them is like, I want to keep this project free to everyone for like for futures. And the Rapid 17 they agrees to it. That's why the reason the Metasploit is still free to use. Yes, there is a different version. Like there is a Metasploit Pro version which is also available. You can download from Rapid 7 website. But as I said previously, there is not much difference between Metasploit and Metasploit Pro. The only difference is like in case of Metasploit Pro, you will be getting a GUI UI, and in case of Metasploit you have the console, and there are like few ways by which you can get the GUI interface in case of the free version also. We'll see that. Okay, so let's start with understanding the Metasploit. Okay, so what we'll do is we will understand each and every topic with a demonstration purpose over here. Okay, so let me know if I'm going too fast or too slow. Okay, so let's start with launching the Metasploit. So the basic command, if you wanted to launch a Metasploit, is command is msf console. Okay, so what happens is like whenever you type msf console command, you'll be getting this kind of interface. Something will be ASCII design will come over here, and you'll find a few details over here also. So this is basically your current Metasploit version, and these are the things which exactly the Metasploit framework provides to you. So as you can see, these are the exact same thing which we have over here. Okay, so let's just understand what exactly these things are. So currently, okay, so these values may differ depending on the what version of Metasploit which you are using. So in my case, it's pretty much old. I guess from last 2 months I haven't updated the Metasploit. So yeah, the chances are you might be having the different number in your scheme. So the first thing is Metasploit is having like around these many of exploits within the same framework for different application, different services, different. That's what. Okay. Now coming to the next part, which is payload. Okay. Now, if you don't know what exactly is the difference between exploits and payload, so exploit is something using exploit code you can exploit a certain vulnerability, but once the exploit code has been successfully completed, I mean once you have successfully exploited some services, the next thing is the payload will get kicks in. Okay, and basically the work of the payload is to provide you the reverse connection or establish a connection between your machine and the victim machine. Okay, so that's the